What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react to some of the dumbest things that my fellow Americans have ever said about Canada. So, to be honest, most of us Americans really don't know anything about Canada. And as a result, you get some really ignorant things being said. So today, I want to take a look at some examples of just the most ridiculous things that Americans have actually said to Canadians. So let's take a look at some of these. Starting with this one says, way back in the days of chat rooms. So like online chat rooms like AOL and stuff. Yeah. I mentioned where I was from, mentioning it was north of North Dakota. Their response? There's nothing north of North Dakota. Oh my god. Who were you talking to? What's this? I hope this is like a chat room of like fourth graders getting together. I hope you weren't an adult talking to a chat room of fourth graders, though. Anyway, before this hypothetical gets too out of control, they're in a chat room, seemingly with like other functioning American adults, and one of the Americans there actually said that there's nothing north of North Dakota. Well, what's there? Does the Earth just end? What do you mean? Have you never looked at a map? I have so many questions. Like, what kind of statement is that? And did, what do you even say to something like that? I don't know. It's got, that is a problem that has like existed as long as mankind has existed. What do you say when another person says something just so totally stupid and ridiculous that it betrays the laws of reality? Do you even dignify it with a reply? I don't know. I live north of what's north of North Dakota? Like, besides Canada, like specifically Saskatchewan or like Manitoba, I think, or something. Certainly things, stuff Canada is there. There's nothing north of North Dakota. That almost sounds like a song or something. There's nothing north of North Dakota. Maybe they were onto something there. Anyway, that's pretty stupid to say to a Canadian that where you are born and raised does not exist. Okay, that's a choice. In 1986, I worked for the summer at Expo 86. It was a huge deal at the time. I'm trying to remember, what is Expo 86? Is that some kind of Canadian fair or exposition or something like that? Anyway, it sounds kind of familiar. It was a huge deal, and there were millions of American tourists. Millions of American tourists at Expo 86 in Canada. I was asked 3 times, is this money good off-site? I don't know if this is, I'm sorry if this is like insulting for Canadians, but I hope it's just funny. Because that's funny to me. Like, that is so bad. There was, sorry, I feel like there's a hair on my nose. I've been trying to get this whole video. Okay, is it gone? Okay. He was asked, is this money good off-site? As in the Canadian money at the Canadian Expo in 86. Like, the Americans are so unfamiliar with Canadian money, they thought it was like pretend, like for the event. like bonus dollars, like tickets, like fake money. At first I couldn't understand, but apparently they thought they had purchased some kind of amusement park currency. It's so bad, man. It's so bad. Instead of Canadian dollars. Well, I've seen pictures of like Canadian dollars and stuff and money, and it's actually very beautiful. But compared to US dollars, it's so colorful and like vibrant, and I know it's made out of like plastic and stuff and material that we associate with games like Monopoly, like fake money. We've never seen stuff like this. Even what it's made out of is different, and the colors, and it's this is really more reflecting how boring our money is. Like it's very papery and bland, and that's what we picture as money, and everything else is made up, I guess. That's funny. Oh my God, I can actually really see Americans doing that. That's okay. The fourth time, I said, "Oh, it continues this story." I'm sorry. This hair is like, what is going on? I can. I think it's just attached to me. Do I just have a nose? Anyway, the fourth time, this hair is taking up way too much of this video on my nose. Can anyone see it? I can see it like out of the corner of my eye. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, not as crazy as these Americans are. They continue. The fourth time, I said, I think it's just park money. The Canadian is trolling the Americans. Okay, I like it. The fourth time somebody said this to me, I said, I think it's just park money. And the dad gave me his stack of cash and said, here, give it to someone who might need it. Me. I needed it. Over $700? Oh my God. In real Canadian money. I don't know if that's like ethical. I can see how that is very tempting. And man, but 700? Jeez. I felt disgusted with myself. But a few ounces of weed spread amongst my friends took care of that. Okay. Their moral conundrum was quickly quashed with some marijuana, I guess. That is a funny story, though. Like, the Americans were like begging for it, basically, to be scammed. Is this just park money? Because Canadian money. That's you can argue it's like Americans' fault for not understanding, but at the same time, that is stealing $700. I don't know about that. Funny story though. Let's move forward to okay. Here we go. I bartended in a major city. I was chatting with a table and came to find that they were all specialist doctors from all over the United States. But here for some conference in Canada. The bill time came, and one of the women, who was a surgeon visiting a major Canadian city and had been here for a week, sees Canadian cash and loses her mind. What? I mean, again, I've seen like pictures and stuff of Canadian money, and it's really amazing. Like it's like a work of art compared to ours. That's true, but to lose your stuff. I think what they're emphasizing here is that these are like doctors, very, very smart, very intelligent people who still, like, it just goes to show you how little exposure Americans have to Canadian culture. Seriously. That these, like, very educated doctors, they travel in Canada, had never seen Canadian money. You mean to tell me that you have your own cash money? What? What? Okay, this just took a turn. I was not expecting that. I thought they were just surprised at seeing the beautiful money. These doctors are confused that Canada has its own currency? You mean to tell me you have your own cash money? Yeah? Y'all just don't use American real money? Oh, what are you doing? Shame. Shame on this American. What? This a doctor? Wow. That went from like an innocent, funny little story about an ignorant American to like that's like very egotistical and not that's not cool. Like, why don't you just use American real money? Like, dude, you know, like every country has its own currency. Depending on where you go in the world, it's not just like Canada. Be like this is not a unique event. Like, so you're basically saying American dollars are the only real money in the world? Like, get a check yourself. Like, really? That that's probably like a good example of why Americans can have like a bad reputation of being sort of not just ignorant but egotistical about it. Like America is we're American money. You don't use American money. What is this? What you don't not real money, huh? What are y'all doing? That's how I imagine. That's how I imagine them being. Oh, this story keeps going. Our money is real money. Can you give us American back? Kick them out. Deport them. Get them out. This is ridiculous. These are, I don't know what kind of power trip these American doctors are on, or if it's just one stupid American, but this is way out of line. Can you give us American back? No. No. You freaking doctor, shouldn't you know better? You're in Canada. What are you talking about? Can we in America, can we give Canadian back? Is asking the same thing basically. No, we accept it on par and you'll receive Canadian change. We don't just keep a whole till of every foreign currency. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. This Canadian's being even too polite about it, to be frank. What's on par? Does that mean, like, at this Canadian restaurant, they accept American dollars? It means the exchange rate will be 1-to-1, regardless of the actual dollar right now. Wow. So the US dollar is worth more than the Canadian dollar, so that's actually a good deal for the Canadian restaurant. And it should be. Like, if you're accepting currency that's not even used in your country, you should get some kind of advantage out of that. What's an exchange rate? What? Huh? What? I feel like the world is closed. Like, is this reality? Is this wow? This makes me a bit concerned with like the doctors of the United States. Like, is everything okay? Did you like is medical school? Did it drive you that crazy? I know it's hard. Like, respect for like learning all the medicine and stuff, but you don't know currency or like what an exchange rate is? That's crazy. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. I was checking into a hotel in Atlanta, and the lady behind the desk said she had never heard of Winnipeg and asked where it was. I cut her from some slack for being from the South, so we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Cut her some slack, and after playing a few trivia hint games with her, like saying it's the home of the Guess Who? What? So instead of just saying where Winnipeg is, you're like playing trivia little games with the American. I don't know if this is going to end well. I said it's the home of the Guess Who? The home of the Guess Who? I don't know. Who sang American Woman? I don't know. And she guessed England. See, I wouldn't have even passed your little quiz there, but I do know Winnipeg is a Canadian city, just in general. I finally told her from Manitoba in Canada. She said, "How was I supposed to know that? I'm from Minnesota." Wait, what? If you're in Minnesota? Yeah, then I explained we actually share a border. Is this the same person from the first? You remember the first one with the chat room? Back in 1993 in the AOL chat room? Is this the same person? The fourth grader? Who they're in Minnesota, and they think nothing is north of that, of North Dakota. How are all these Americans, like, who don't even... Now, don't get me wrong. I like for I don't know a map of Canada like very well from memory, although I've gotten better at it. For the longest time, like most Americans, I had like a vague. I knew there's a land mass above America or above the United States called Canada. Wasn't really sure how it was shaped. Like I didn't have a good idea in my mind, to be completely honest, and or where things were. But I knew Canada was there. What are you talking about? Like, you're from Minnesota and you don't know that? Oh my God. My okay, let's take a look at one more. My father had someone say to him, "You speak pretty good English for a Canadian." Like what? We must admit, however, that we take glee in perpetuating stereotypes and misinformation. A friend spent a summer in Georgia with his aunt and uncle. This is all happening in Georgia, I guess. Um, and took delight in telling his cousin's friends about dog sledding to school and having to carry a rifle because of polar bears. We live in Belleville, Ontario. That's all. That's funny and all, but this, I'm still stuck on. You speak pretty good English for a Canadian. Like, I mean, this just goes to show you. Like, I'm aware of this because I'm American and, like, I know my own brain and others around me. Like, I know Americans really don't know anything about Canada. You know, I've at least taken some effort to learn about it on the internet, so I know more than probably most Americans, but it's still kind of shocking to see, like, there's Americans who don't even know that Canadians, they think you speak Canadian. Like that is a language. Okay? We're not talking about French or something. Like, they don't know you speak English. It's not good, but it does make for pretty entertaining stuff to look at. So there we go. That was pretty funny at the very least, and good to like set the record straight on some of these really embarrassing things that Americans have said about Canada. It's kind of shocking. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these crazy things that Americans have said. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and seeing Canadian things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.